Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Nick, and we're taking a look at another case for the iPhone 15 Pro, and it is one that I have been extremely excited for, and one that has actually sparked a good amount of controversy amongst the case gurus and all these dudes like myself that just really enjoy them. But let's go ahead and get right into it. It's going to be the Ghost case from DBrand. And of course, let's go ahead and start right with the packaging. So an all white box, pretty much. You see right here, Ghost case. Lettering does wrap around the packaging right there. And you get a little ghost down here in the bottom left corner. Kind of cool to see. Don't really mind that. And then over on the back, it's completely blank except for these little dots right here, which I'm assuming are Braille. But honestly, I have no idea. If any of you guys know what that is, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it because I am genuinely just curious. But that is really all there is going on with the packaging. Now let's go ahead and open it up. It has this little side part right here. You just pull it to the right and it opens up straight to the case. This is empty. Set that over there and you are greeted with the case and only the case. When you do get this brand new, it does have these little peels on the back side and on the inside you'd have to pull off, but that is really it. It's a very nice looking clear case. You can see you get this kind of question mark looking black area, which is your MagSafe magnet. You can see that over on the inside as well. And something I really like about this case is that it is a kind of two-part material. So the back is extremely rigid, which I love to see, but the sides are more of a TPU style material, which have maintained the grip that DBrand has really loved, and I genuinely love. I love their grip case. You guys can check out the video on that one as well. But while maintaining that solid back for protection, you do get this softer material on the sides and all these little ridges for grip. But we'll take a look at that more in just a second. Now, looking at the inside, you can see you do get a soft little plastic material over that magnet. As for the inside edges, I should say, you can see there isn't really a whole lot going on. It's a pretty standard clear case, and it maintains that all the way throughout, which I actually really enjoy. It's a pretty minimal style case. And right there, when the lighting catches it, you can see where the controversy has came from this case. It scratches like it's its job. I have noticed that this Ghost case, I didn't even test this case for very long because I wanted it to look somewhat presentable for the video. And it has really just lived in my pocket. I don't keep my phone with my keys or anything else. My phone sits in a pocket alone. It has its own dedicated pocket always. And just look at this. It looks like I was sliding my phone across like tables and rocks. Just look at this scratching. Most of the cases that I put on the channel, I test for minimum 2 weeks. I test them for 2 weeks and then I film my video and then I give you guys my thoughts. Look at this. It looks like I found this thing. It looks like I found it just sitting in the road somewhere. This I tested for 3 days, guys. 3 days. That is all it took for it to start looking like this. And 2 out of those 3 days, I was just sitting at home. I was sitting at home doing university work on my laptop. Right here, where I'm filming this video, that's what happened. But before I keep complaining about it, let's go ahead and snap the phone in. We'll cut it a break because despite the scratching, it's a pretty solid case. But let's go ahead and talk about it. So here is the iPhone 15 Pro in natural titanium, and we're just going to snap this right in. So right here, you see no issues there. Snaps in just fine, and it does look sweet, especially right here that you can't see any of those scratches or anything. It is a very nice looking case. I really enjoy the fact that this MagSafe area is raised. You see my nail runs into it, so you can see, especially when I lift it on its side like this, you can tell that it actually does protrude up, which is cool. It's nice to see that. But let's go ahead and talk about the fit. Let's start with the fit. I'm a little flustered because of the scratching, but I'll get over it. Now, the sides are a little softer than the back of the case. That means you are going to get a decent amount of pull by the buttons especially, and down by the port. You can see that really good amount of pull. But my usual rule, as long as there's not a ton of pulling at the sides and no pulling at the corners, which there is not. The top does have a tiny bit, but really nothing to frown about. As long as it stays like that, we're all set. Now let's talk about some protection. Starting with our camera right here, you can see that that lip does come up just enough to cover up those lenses, so you really have nothing to worry about. It's going to be really nice and protected, especially putting your phone down on flat surfaces. Moving over to the front, I do have a tempered glass screen protector on this phone, and you can see you do still get a lip. So if you don't have a tempered glass screen protector, which I do recommend, you are going to get a little bit more of a lip, but if you are running one, this is pretty much what you're going to be looking at, and definitely happy with that amount. Now, moving over to the sides, you can see you get this really cool kind of skeleton looking, sorry, lost my words there for a second, design when it comes to this black material meeting the clear of the back, and you get this kind of TPU material for your buttons, which are kind of blended into the case right there, and it does stick all the way around, providing a very nice amount of grip, which I feel all clear cases lack. There's no grip on those things except for this one. So right here, we do get a dedicated button for your action button, which does have air slits. All of these buttons have air slits. In case that's something that bothers you, something to remember. Let's go ahead and test this one out. Okay, that's our action button. It is nice to press. It does take a little bit more force than I would say most average buttons, but I also like that because it means there's no accidental presses. When you pull your phone up off a table, pull it out of your pocket, you're not going to be accidentally activating that button. So nothing to worry about there. Now let's go ahead and test out these volume buttons. Now those are definitely a little bit more tactile than the action button, which I definitely enjoy, because even if you accidentally press your volume buttons when you're pulling your phone out of your pocket or whatever the case might be, it's really not going to change anything unless you're actively listening to music right there. But it doesn't bother me. I say it's not a bad thing. Something I also want to mention is that even though these buttons all have grip integrated into them, you can see the action button lines are going a different direction than the volume buttons and the rest of the grip along the way. So once you get to know the case well enough, you can actually feel the ridges and you'll know what button you're pressing just by that feel alone. Super cool detail that DBrand went ahead and integrated right there. Now moving over to the bottom, you see you get a very nice generous cutout for your USB-C port right there, which I definitely appreciate. Really love that, because you know that this case is going to work with any charger you decide to use. Third party, OEM, no matter what, it fits in that cutout. And then you still get accurate cutouts for your speaker and your microphone over on the bottom. Now, as we work our way over to the power button side, pretty much the exact same look as the volume button side, except only one raised button for your power button. Let's go ahead and test that out. Also super nice and tactile, very satisfying to press. Really enjoy the buttons on this case. Now moving over to the top, you can see it is completely closed. And before we move on to the MagSafe test, something else I want to mention is the corners of this case are actually a lot beefier than the rest of the surrounding material. So you can maintain this kind of, my phone, I just need to, give me a quick second to wipe this down. That definitely looks better. Now, the sides help the phone feel extremely slim and maintain that minimal look, but you don't sacrifice any protection because the corners are actually extra beefy. I don't know if you guys can totally tell that on camera, but they do protrude more outwards and they give you that extra cushion that you're going to be looking for, especially if you want to maintain a slim kind of case profile. But now, case does have MagSafe. We are going to test out MagSafe, but before we move on to that, I do want to take a quick second to talk to you guys about Mint Mobile and how they've absolutely changed the game for mobile services. So I'm sure, like most of you guys, I have been using a main carrier that a ton of us use. They're expensive. They don't really give the best service. Now, me personally, I've been using Mint for over a month now. I have two phones. I use one for business and one for personal use. My work phone, I kept it on my previous service, and my personal, I've been using Mint. Now, before, I was paying so much more, and I just really wasn't using a service that I was happy with. The service was constantly dropping calls. It was unreliable as anything you could think of, and it just really let me down more oftentimes than it proved me that I could rely on it. It just really wasn't my thing. And then when I realized that Mint was an option and I made the switch, it absolutely changed the game. I have officially moved both of my devices over to Mint Mobile services, and I haven't looked back once. I am going to have a link down in the description. It helps out the channel, but in case you want to check out Mint Mobile for services, or you just want to window shop or compare and contrast with the service you currently have, I definitely recommend that you guys take a look. Mint has helped out me personally and the channel out a ton already just by providing that service, and I am not going back. It's something I want to share with you guys because I've genuinely enjoyed, and something that I have started using in my personal life every single day. So again, check out that link in the description. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope that Mint is something that can work out for you the way it's worked out for me. But anyway, let's get right back into the MagSafe test, starting with the Spigen OMAG ring, which is a phone grip and stand in one. We're gonna go ahead and take this and just snap it on right there. You can see it definitely looks sweet, I'll give it that. But starting with some strength, just sticking on like that, it's definitely, okay, there we go. Not as strong as I was expecting, but either way, you can see this. Maybe I'm expecting a little more because with most cases, this kind of silicone material tends to add an extra layer of kind of suction, but I don't seem to be getting that. Maybe it's because this is raised off the rest of the case, but whatever it might be, it's still a decent amount of strength. Just I was expecting a little bit more. Now let's go ahead and set this down and try out this. Now, of course, same thing. I'm pretty sure this will fall off the desk before it comes off the back of my phone, but definitely nice to see that it is still reliable as a phone grip. Now let's go ahead and test out a little bit of wireless charging as well as a little bit of strength with the MagSafe battery pack. So we're gonna snap this on. You can see it wirelessly charges just fine despite having that raised lip. And let's go ahead and double check. Now this battery pack is right up against that camera lip. If you're using a bigger battery pack, you might end up seeing it sit on top of that lip, probably something like this. It will still charge, as you can see, but it's not going to have as strong of a magnetic adhesion right there. Just something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and try out some false drops. Okay, did seem to lose itself right there. And there it goes. Yeah, so while it does have a decent adhesion, you can definitely feel this is a lot stronger than the grip we just tried. If you drop your phone with this setup, your battery pack will probably fall off, but not a huge deal. Just pick it back up, snap it back on, you're good to go. Definitely not gonna have any issues putting it in and taking it out of your pocket. You're gonna be just fine when it comes to that. So definitely trusted right here. Definitely nice to see that despite the raised material, you're not gonna have any issues wirelessly charging. Now, a big one for me, of course, is going to be the Apple MagSafe wallet. This is still the leather wallet. I absolutely love this thing. So I've got to be able to trust my case with it. Snap this on. Do get that nice little animation. And then moving over to the back. It definitely feels like a decent amount of strength. You can see right here that it is not hitting the camera lip. So you have no issues to worry about there. And let's try out some false drops. Same thing, we did get it to lose itself right there. And pretty much there it goes. So same thing, if you drop your phone with your wallet on, you probably are gonna have to pick up your wallet. Just double check that it's still there. But putting it in, pulling it out of your pocket, anything like that, unless you have extremely tight pants, you're probably gonna be just fine. Now me, I don't wear super tight pants. This has never come off when putting it in or out of my pocket. So I do trust this case with my wallet. Definitely love to see that. Now the last test, of course, it's going to be the Nomad Base One. This is a MagSafe charging puck built into a glass and metal stand. It weighs over a pound, and we're gonna snap this on to see if this case can lift it. Of course, we already know that it charges just fine on there. And just touching the phone itself, not the base, we're gonna see if it can lift it. And it definitely can. Really wasn't too worried about it. Could tell it had enough strength for it, but let's see if it can lift it and turn it on its side. Again, just touching the phone and lift it just like this, turn it on its side. And we can even get a little bit of a shake in. just a tiny one. We've definitely seen some stronger magnets, but these are nothing to laugh at either. Definitely nice to see that there. So super cool to see that, and definitely some nice magnets built in. And that is really it for this one, guys. It's the Ghost case from DBrand. I know it took me a while to get this video out, but it did take forever to actually receive this case. And then once I noticed, let me see if I can show you the scratching with the phone in there. Since my phone is the natural titanium, you don't notice it too much, but if you have the black phone, you are going to see all of these scratches right here. Let me go ahead and pull this out just so I can show it to you guys one more time, because that is really the only con. Now, luckily, DBrand has released a statement. They are going to be sending more scratch resilient Ghost cases to everyone who purchased one of these later on. I don't remember the exact date, but just look at this. I'm going to wipe it down since it's covered in my fingerprints, just because I want you guys to see these scratches. In case you're thinking about buying one now, this is probably what you're going to end up looking at. If you have the natural titanium or maybe the silver, you probably won't notice the cases scratching as much. But if you have the black one, you are totally going to see all of these. Just look at that. Remember, this is after 3 days of pretty much me sitting at my desk and my phone just sitting in my pocket alone. No keys are in there, nothing's in there. This is what it looks like. Just something to keep in mind. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, remember to hit that like button down below. Remember to check out Mint Mobile. That link is going to be down in the description as well. They've helped me out a ton, and I just know that if you guys check them out, you are not going to be unhappy with them. So that's it for this one, guys. If you want to see more videos like this, remember to check out the channel. I've covered a ton of cases, and remember to subscribe because I'm not going to stop. There are still more cases coming, and I'm going to be more than happy to show them off to you guys. But that's it for this one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.